Have you ever worked really hard towards something and then you feel like you're not growing, you're not moving forward, you feel like you're stuck? Well, I want to encourage you today in that area of growth. And I want to give you 3 helpful tips to help you grow and increase your mental capacity. Welcome to Wellness with Rachel. Today we are talking about growing. You know, it's this time of year when we start to see little hints of spring. It helps remind me that growth is happening even when we can't see it. And I want to share with you a story that I heard years ago that just encouraged me so much, especially when we think of working really hard towards something and feeling like we're not getting anywhere. There is a species of Chinese bamboo that is very strong. It has an interesting growth period. And I love this illustration of what it looks like to sometimes feel stuck, but things are actually going on underneath the surface that if we would just stick with it and persevere, we would see the outcome. So many times we give up early before we've seen that growth happen. So this specific type of Chinese bamboo, and guys, this is so cool. The farmer will plant it from a seed and he will water the ground and tend it and weed it and all the things. For a whole year he does this and he doesn't see anything. Not a little sprout, nothing. It just looks like dirt. But he continues to take care of it. For a whole year, we don't see anything. The next year, he continues to weed and water and tend the ground where he planted the seed. And for that whole year, nothing happened. So that's 2 years that's gone by and nothing has happened. The next year, the third year, he waters and tends the ground with not even a sprout. And he continues to persevere because he knows there is more going on than meets the eye. And from all appearances, it would seem that it's just dirt he's taking care of. And maybe the seed is just a dud and it's not going to make it. So for 5 whole years, he tends this little piece of ground without seeing anything. He sees no growth with his visible eyes, but he perseveres and he continues doing the things that he knows he needs to do to see the growth happen. And in the 5th year, this is where it's really exciting. In the 5th year, a sprout will shoot up out of the ground and it will grow so fast, like 90 feet in 6 weeks. That's like 15 feet a week, guys. It can almost grow overnight. It's amazing. But what's happening as this farmer was persevering through all of the doubts, maybe even all of the wondering if anything's going to happen, if any growth is even taking place, if he's wasting his time. But he's not, because what's happening is underneath the soil, the things that we cannot see, is this seed was growing downward. It was building a root system that was going to support the exponential growth that was going to happen in that 5th year. It had to have that root system in place. If it didn't, it would topple over immediately. So there were things going on underneath the surface. And guys, the same way it works with us. When we continue doing and working hard towards our goals, we might not see growth right away. We might be very discouraged because it takes a very long time. But I promise, if you keep moving forward, keep persevering just like this farmer did, I promise you will see the growth. You are building a root system. I hope that encourages you. And I want to give you, in closing, I want to give you 3 ways that you can grow your mental capacity during these times where it seems like nothing's happening. Okay, here are 3 ways that you can grow your mental capacity during times where you feel like you're not growing. So number 1 is to grow your resilience by journaling your journey. Keep track of what's happening. Sometimes we don't see a big picture, but it helps us to see little increments. So track your growth, track your progress. Even if you don't see growth, track what you're doing to move towards that growth. Number 2, celebrate the small wins. Celebrate every little thing, even if it's tending a blank plot of soil. Celebrate the small things. And the last one is read. Discover stories like this about the bamboo that encourage you to keep moving forward. Listen to podcasts, grow your capacity to continue to persevere in the midst of a very long waiting period. But the most important thing to remember is not to give up. Because if we continue in these things, if we continue in this path towards growth, we will see growth, whether we're working towards something physical, something business related. Keep doing the things you know you need to do and wait for the growth to happen, because right now you are building that root system. Focus on the foundation, focus on what's underneath, and that will support the growth that will happen suddenly and maybe even overnight.